So let's begin with building our basic lead capture agent. Right now, we are here in our workspace. So what we're going to do is just come up to the top corner and select new agent. From here, we're going to give it a name. I'll go ahead and call this lead capture. And for the language, you can select any language you'd like, but for this build, I'm going to choose English. And then from there, we can hit get started. Now we have the option to import a web page into the knowledge base, similar to what we did in the previous lesson, but we're not going to be using this for this lead capture build. Instead, what I'd like to do is go ahead and hit skip. So now we're loaded in the project panel. I'm going to hover over to workflows and then hit go to canvas. Here, I'm going to hit Command A or Control A on Windows and then delete key. So we start with a completely blank canvas, and on the left hand side is our toolbar, and each of these categories are nodes that we are going to use in our flow, and of course each of them have different functions. So for example, we have AI, which is not important, it's now a deprecated step. We have talk, which we can use messages, prompts, images, cards, carousels, etc. Our listen, which is anything where we want to accept input from the user, and this can be in the form of a button, a choice, or a captcha. Then some logic nodes and developer nodes. So what we're going to be doing is creating a basic bot for a fitness coach. This bot will be able to determine whether the user needs to lose weight or gain muscle. And from there, we're going to tell them that we have the perfect package for them. We will collect their information and then forward that to a spreadsheet, which can serve as an email list. This would be the CRM integration. So to get started, let's drag out this start string and add a talk. We'll do a message node. I'm going to write, hi, how can I help you with your physical needs? Then from here, we want to capture the user's reply. So we're going to come to listen and then capture. Then we can drag this into the same block. Now what we need to do is in the capture step is at the top in the drop down select entire user reply, and we're going to save the entire reply to last utterance. From here, we're going to expect the user to give us some indicator of whether or not they want to lose weight or gain muscle. So what we want to do is use a set AI prompt step, which will allow AI to intelligently analyze the user's reply and then tell us whether or not they want to lose weight or gain muscle. So let's go ahead and drag this out, go to logic and then select set. From here, we can add a variable and we're going to click prompt. This is where we can set an AI prompt that then outputs something and it saves it as a variable. From here, we want to click the drop down under prompt and hit create prompt. So before we start prompting, let's jump into the large language model settings. So this is considered an LLM, large language model. Here we can select a variety of LLMs such as GPT 3.5, GPT 4, Claude, Gemini, etc. And you can see each of these models take tokens each time you use these steps. So right now, GPT 4o mini is the cheapest. As you can see, as the models get more complex, they cost more tokens. As of now, GPT 3.5 and GPT 4o mini are the only ones available to us because we haven't got a subscription plan yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and select GPT 4o mini. Then we can go ahead and add a system prompt. Think of a system prompt as how you would want your AI to think. And then the prompt here, the user prompt, is how you would want your AI to act. So for the system prompt, we're going to do something simple and tell it, you are a user query analysis expert. You are meant to analyze a user's message and determine whether they need help losing weight or gaining muscle. And just as a note, in the settings, I'm going to leave these max tokens at 256. This essentially just sets a limit on how much the AI can output in terms of words, which equates to tokens. And for the temperature, think of this as how creative the AI model can get. Higher value means the AI can get more creative and more robust when it responds, and lower values means it's more, I guess you could call it deterministic, meaning the same message will get the same output more closely. So I'm going to leave the temperature at 0.3. Then what we want to do is set up our user prompt. So I'm going to write, identify if the user wants to lose weight or gain muscle based on the query. And then we can add a colon, and I'm going to add quotes. Then we want to put the user query, which is saved in the last utterance variable, and then we'll add an end quote, because you'll notice in the captcha user reply to the last utterance step, it's saving whatever the user types into the variable called last utterance. And so the AI is being told, identify if the user wants to lose weight or gain muscle based on the query, and then it gives them whatever the user typed last. From there, I just want to add some specifics. I'm going to say, if the user wants to lose weight, reply only with loss. And if the user wants to gain weight, reply only with gain. And then just to make sure it doesn't reply with anything else, I'm going to say you should only reply with loss or gain. From here, what we want to do is save this output to a variable. So once we're done with our prompt, I'm just going to go ahead and give this prompt a name. I'll call it gain or loss. And then as a description, I'll say a prompt that determines whether the user wants to lose or gain weight. Then from here, we can exit out. So from here, what we want to do is save this output to a variable. We're going to click apply to and then create a new variable. I'm going to call this gain or loss. Then we can go ahead and create the new variable. If we want to preview what this looks like, we can come into prompt and then hit run. From here, we can enter a test value for last utterance, and I'll say I'm too skinny, then run. And you now can see it's saying gain because we're telling the AI we're too skinny. So it's going to intelligently analyze that this means we want to gain weight. So the logic is working correct in the AI step. Now let's add a conditional block, which is essentially an if statement saying, hey, if it's gain, do this. If it's loss, do this. So what we want to do is just drag a string, go to the logic, and then select if condition. I'm just going to go ahead and title this block and call it if else. Then from here, we can add a condition. We have two types, business logic and prompt. We're going to keep this as business logic and then add a path. We're going to evaluate using condition builder. So what we want to do is say, if the variable is loss or if the variable is gain, then we do two different things. Now we're going to leave this at match all. First, we'll select all variables. So we say, if our variable gain or loss is loss, then we should go one route. Then we can go back and add another path again with if condition builder. We'll go ahead, select gain or loss, and then we say if our gain or loss variable is gain, then we go on a different route. You can see that we have the if else block where we can drag out to two different paths depending on what the user wants, whether it's losing weight or gaining weight. Now quickly before I move on, I just want to note we have this else path which is saying what do we do if the response is neither gain or loss. So right now we have it, so it has to either be one of the two. So I'm just going to switch this off. But this is something you definitely want to consider when you're building different AI agents. Okay, so let's go ahead and drag a string from the loss condition and we'll add a message node. From here, what we want to say is, it's great that you want to lose weight and improve your health. What's your current height and weight and what do you want to get to? Then we can drag a captcha to this block so we get the user's reply. Again, we're going to set this to entire user reply and leave this at last utterance. Then what we can do is drag this to another set step so we can use a prompt and begin to calculate the user's BMI. What we want to do for weight loss is to make the AI calculate the user's BMI and then let the user know that we have the perfect plan for them and ask them if they can capture their name, email, so then we can send them a free course, newsletter, whatever it is, this perfect plan. Or if the user says that they want to gain muscle, inform them of how much daily protein they should eat and do the same thing, asking them for their name, email, so that way we can send them the free value.